TPUSA tell Candace Owens to stop again. This time in the form of a cease and desist letter. Well, to be honest, Erika kinda, sorta told her to stop. I take it they didn't learn from the Brigitte Macron saga. Today we are going to get into why this is dangerous and who this is dangerous to. This is Black Jules TV in the building. Let's get into it. But before we dive in, smash that subscribe button. And before you leave, hoping you stick out with me to the end, hit the like button. By doing that, you tell the algorithm I made some sort of sense, even if it's less than 50 cents. Okay, let us begin. Now, Candace Owens has been going at, I'm not going to say TPUSA, and it's definitely not Erika Kirk, but Candace Owens have been going at whoever there's some kind of evidence that points to being involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Now, it's unfortunate that majority of the evidence that she has uncovered has point to people in Turning Point USA, people very, very close to Charlie, to the extent where his security team have questionable action moments after Charlie was assassinated. And she been asking questions that up until now, I haven't seen get proper answers. Now, a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, well, yeah, a lot of influencers and a lot of people I see over the period of time that she's been doing her investigation, keep going at her that what she's doing, it's not right. And she's attacking the widow long before she ever even mentioned Erika Kirk or anything involving Erika Kirk in her investigation. But the media, the influencers, everybody trying to stuff Erika in between Candace and her investigation. And no, and in my opinion, I think it's the silence of Erika that led to her, well, it's not the silence of Erika, it's how everybody start going at Candace after the Camp Huachuca get involved in the come up in her investigation. This is what Candace had to say about Camp Huachuca. Well, Mitch, this is what Mitch had to say about Camp Huachuca, because Mitch is the one who have information about that connects TPUSA and Camp Huachuca. Let's listen.
So you get to the base, and I want you to address this because there were so many people who were like, there's no way you could have gotten onto the base. Obviously, you sent me your military cards, and I think we can show a picture of that. You get onto the base, and I want you to walk us through what time, and I did show a timeline, but about, you don't have to be perfect here. We already showed a timeline, but like you get to the base and just kind of what's your general mood. And this is on September 8th, the evening of September 8th at the Candlewood Inn and Suites, which you have given me all the documentation for.
Okay. Yeah, getting into Tucson, there was a little bit of a issue getting the rental car and stuff, so that took a little while, a little bit of a delay, but we made reservations ahead of time for me to be there. And yeah, I get down to the base. For those that think that people can't get on base, no, typically you can, as long as you have your ID, your insurance, and you have a purpose for being there. I certainly did. That's
and
why
Sally,
they
you can show that
hotels.
documentation as he's speaking. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, we made reservations, and I got to the hotel. I had to, it was sort of hard to find, but once I found it, I sort of recognized it because it was that was actually the barracks that I had when I was there in AIT training, but they converted it. So yeah, that was pretty cool. All of a sudden, I'm staying in the same barracks. A really nice place, by the way. Wonderful beds. But yeah, I check in, and as I'm doing that, you can tell that there's regular military people, young kids that are there, probably just checking in to post, stuff like that. There were a couple people that stood out, and they're a little bit older, and as I'm checking in, one guy that was sitting on the couch, he just had a sheen to him. Looked like he had a professional military sheen to him. If I had to guess, being a special forces guy, I would have guessed that he's ex-special forces, probably doing, something down there, probably contract. He was definitely waiting on something. And
age about, just so we can get a description, age.
I'd say 33 to 40, about there, give or take. I wasn't there to check out people or check ID cards. I just happen to know him. And veterans, especially SF guys, when you notice somebody like that, I almost had the impression, so much so, that I was going to go up and ask him what group he was with and say hi and thank him for his service. I didn't really get that chance. So as I'm checking in and then I go to my room and then come back out, he was joined and joined by a female that you can definitely tell when, how do you put it, when people are well off and they're dressing down. She was definitely dressing down, and it was very well kept. The one thing I noticed about the woman that really stuck out to me was her eyes. And I have an ex that has caused me a lot of problems. So when I see someone with striking blue eyes like that, they stick out. And I was on the phone with my wife here, and I even told her about it. I said, "Oh, geez, somebody has those kind of eyes." It creeped me out a little bit, and it had nothing to do with that person. Just, life is what it is. But as I was checking in, I was going to go back and actually talk to that person, the guy, and between me at the front desk and then going back to my room one time and then coming back out, I was going to go to dinner. They had gotten into, there was a vehicle parked out front, big green truck. It looked like a real shiny GSA type. They were getting into that vehicle and driving off. And that night I went to dinner at some, a little bit crazy. The people in Sierra Vista, they can probably verify, there was a Mexican sushi place in Sierra Vista. So I got dinner and it was a pretty good place, actually. And then I came back and went to sleep that night. Got up early the next morning, wanted to see the sunrise, reminisce about, there we go. Just reminisce about having been there a long time ago. And even stopped to talk to some of the police. They tried to give me directions to see ID, but the buildings there are they're sort of old World War II, and they're also built on top of the foundations of like almost Alamo era rocks and stuff, and some of them aren't really well marked. So his direction sort of led me off on a wild goose chase.
And I'll interject here while you're having a sip of water that this is when you accidentally take a video and it's 18 minutes long while this guy's giving you directions, which you've sent everything over. So there's no question you were here and everything happened because you tried to document this thinking you were going to get some justice from the past, and I will let you continue telling the story.
Yeah, I was there to get help. And I was really figuring some people would have have some answers for me. I couldn't find CID, but as I'm wandering around, I finally decided, I need to get some coffee and wake up, maybe have a little breakfast. I noticed that there's some signs there that say JTF and JTF headquarters. I went in a couple of the buildings. There was nobody there yet. So I continued on. I went and got coffee, ran into some 10th Mountain people there. They said they were there for JTF. We sort of talked. I bought them coffee, I think, for their service. I asked where there would be a headquarters that I could go to speak to someone. They tried to explain it to me. I forget, they gave me a building name, and I don't necessarily we don't want to disclose that kind of stuff, but I went right back to the front gate, and as I came in, as they scanned me in with my ID card, I asked the gate guard there, where would this building be, and how would I get there? He gave me detailed instructions on how to get there, how to wind around to get to that building. And so I did. And it was obviously a temporary setup for this new command down there. There was no gate guard. There was, I think they did have some barbed wire around the field in the building, which made me hesitate for a second, but it was a parking lot. So I just went in and parked. I was on the phone with my missus here and told her, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what they say here, and I'll call you in a few. I ended up not being able to call her back for about 7 hours. And you can, being in the military for a while, you notice when there's a lot of high-ranking people around. And you notice when there's a little bit of a buzz. And I walked in there. I didn't know if this was just a new type of army that I haven't seen for a while. But I walked up to the front desk. I sort of told them what I wanted. I initially talked to one captain for about 5 minutes, and then he stepped back out. He was going to go get someone. I stood there at the front, and as I did, the guy that I thought was an ex-SF guy, he had walked out from wherever it was, and he was sort of walking out to the front doors, and he stood there for a while waiting. And then 3 more people came around, civilian dressed, and one,
You know what I can't understand? Why would they believe that this man who is giving such a detailed account of what happened when he went to Camp Huachuca was making shit up? I mean, for this detailed experience that happened on a specific day, a specific time, that would be one of the easiest thing to debunk. No, this guy was never on the base. We have never spoken to him. That has never happened. We have no clue of what he's talking about. He's just making stuff up. That could be easily debunked. Still, they don't believe him. Anyway, this was just the part that Candace, get back out there, that Candace Owens mentioned Camp Huachuca. And after she mentioned Camp Huachuca, after this guy mentioned Camp Huachuca, and Candace started following that lead, that's when every influencers come out the woodwork and just start going at her, going at the tips, going at the evidence, going at every thing with that that her investigation is taking. And then now it get to the point where Erika, not Erika, let me say what I got it, how it is, where TPUSA have sent a cease and desist letter to Candace Owens. For her to stop what they call slandering or, you know, accusing or whatever the in is of TPUSA and Erika Kirk. Here's a question I'm asking. Why is it so bad for a friend to investigate another friend if nobody is innocent of anything? If TPUSA and Erika Kirk is innocent, why are they trying to stop Candace from investigating? Why aren't they assisting Candace in the investigation? Why are they getting rid of people in TPUSA who they believe is giving Candace Owens information? You got nothing to hide. You're supposed to be telling them that, okay, Candace Owens is doing a good thing. She's trying to get to the bottom of what happened to Charlie. Whoever have any information, kindly reach out to her and give it to her. As a widow, as a grieving widow, wouldn't that what you want to do? Why wouldn't that be what you want to do? Leaving no strings unturned to find out who, why your husband was assassinated. And another question, why does so many pastors going at Candace Owens for investigating what happened to Charlie Kirk? What do they know that we don't know? Who are telling them things that the public is not aware of? For them to be going so hard at someone that only thing she is doing is trying to find out who killed her friend. And here is where here is the kicker. Here's the kicker. And this is where I said they should have learned from the direction where the cease and desist letters from the French couple is going. They should have known better, because Candace spoke about it. If you send cease and desist letter, you now gonna have to, you're opening up yourself to scrutiny to figure out, so to reveal or to prove that what the person is saying, what you want to stop the person from saying, is incorrect, is false, and they are misleading the public. They're spreading misinformation. You in turn are gonna have to prove that. So a lot of the answers that Candace Owens are looking for or want from TPUSA, this cease and desist letter gonna pull it out the woodwork. Okay, you're gonna have to prove now that whatever Candace is saying is a lie. And she willfully know the truth and still spreading the lie. So I don't believe this cease and desist letter will harm Candace, because I don't see anything malicious in what she is trying to do. And I said it before and I'll say it again. If I am to pick one person to be my friend, who will have my back no matter what, I would pick Candace Owens any day. This woman is having Charlie back like I've never seen anybody have a friend's back. So TPUSA, I hope you have your ducks in a row. I hope you have your paperwork ready. Because you're gonna now have to prove that what Candace is saying is false. So now you're gonna have to show the evidence, clear people's name, prove that Erika is where she says she was when she says she was, and she wasn't where Candace Owens' investigation lead to believe that she was. Now they're gonna have to prove that there was no drones in the sky. Now they're gonna have to prove why did that dude immediately after Kirk got shot move a chair, climb up on it, and remove an SD card? There are so many things they're gonna have to prove now. To have Candace Owens cease and desist from doing what she's doing and saying what she's saying. It's gonna be a long road ahead. It's gonna be a tough road ahead. I'm still behind Candace Owens 100%, because all I see is a woman who is determined to find out what really happened to her friend. So in the weeks, months to come, we'll see what's going to happen. And I'm keeping my ears close to it. Until next time, this is Black Jewels TV saying, walk good, do good, and let good follow you. We're out. Peace.
Black Jewels TV.